So let's talk about AI in our schools. It feels like we're all walking a tightrope, right? This tech is changing everything about how we learn, but man, it's also opening up a whole new world of challenges. How do we even begin to navigate all this? Well, let's get into it. And this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? Is AI this incredible new tutor that's going to revolutionize everything? Or is it just the ultimate ghostwriter, making it easier than ever to, not do the work? As we're about to see, the answer is, of course, way more complicated than that. Okay, here's our game plan for today. We're going to start with what we're calling the new AI divide. Then, we'll try to get inside students' heads and figure out why they're even using these tools. After that, we'll look at the whole undetectable essay thing and the tech that's trying to spot them. And then, we're going to shift gears to solutions, how we can actually bridge the gap and get past this constant cat and mouse game. All right, first up, the new AI divide. You got to think of this as more than just a new piece of software. It's like a new personality in the classroom, and it's creating this massive tug-of-war between the insane pressure students are under and the academic integrity that, schools are trying to protect. And before we go any further, I want to get one thing straight. This is not about pointing fingers. There are no good guys and bad guys here. This is a super complex challenge that's hitting students, teachers, and parents all at once. And the only way through it is to really try and understand everyone's side. So let's really get to the heart of it. Why are students actually using AI? Because if we're going to talk about the what, we have to start with the why. When you really dig into the research, 4 big reasons keep popping up. Number 1, the pressure is just off the charts. We're talking heavy workloads, tons of stress, and this constant panic over grades. Number 2, these tools are just everywhere. They're easy to use, and a lot of students feel like the risk of getting caught is pretty low. Then you've got classic peer pressure. If everyone else is doing it, you feel like you're going to fall behind if you don't. And finally, honestly, some students just don't fully get the downsides of leaning too heavily on AI. And check out this quote from a college faculty member, F. Ahmed. It just hits the nail on the head. He says students are using AI to jump to the fancy stuff, like analyzing and creating, without actually learning the basics first. It's like trying to build the roof of a house before you've even poured the foundation. It just doesn't work. And look, the risks here go way beyond just getting a bad grade. If you rely too much on AI, you might not develop the actual skills you need for a job down the road. You could end up spreading misinformation without even realizing it. Because let's be honest, AI makes stuff up sometimes. And you miss out on the struggle, the process of learning itself, which is kind of the whole point of going to school. Okay, time to flip the script. Let's look at this whole situation from a student's perspective, from behind the keyboard. Because this is where things get really wild. It's basically a tech arms race now, with AI detection tools on one side and these so-called AI humanizers on the other. But here's the crazy part, and you really got to understand this. AI detectors don't actually detect AI. They detect patterns. And get this, a totally human student who's maybe tired or stressed can accidentally write in a way that follows those same patterns. And boom, they get flagged as AI. It happens. So what are we talking about when we say patterns? Well, first there's tone. AI has this default setting that's super formal and honestly kind of robotic. Compare something like, I have ardently pursued intellectual rigor with a real human voice. I'm the kid who brings a soldering iron to lunch. One is just generic filler. The other paints a picture. It has personality. Pattern number 2, sentence structure. AI just loves these repetitive cookie-cutter sentences. I learned this, I learned that, I learned another thing. It's so predictable. Human writing has more rhythm, more variety. It's what some experts call burstiness, a natural mix of long-flowing sentences and short, punchy ones. It keeps things interesting. And the last big giveaway is all about the details. AI gives you these broad generalizations. It'll say something like, volunteering was meaningful. Okay, cool. But a human remembers the sensory stuff, the squeak of the blood pressure cuff, the sound of Mr. Alvarez's joke, the feeling in the room. Those specific, concrete details are what make a story feel real. Okay, so we've laid out the problem. It's messy. So where do we go from here? That brings us to our next big section. How do we actually start bridging this AI gap and find some common ground? For all the students out there, if you're worried about your writing sounding robotic, here's a quick 5-step checklist. 1. Just write. Get a messy first draft down, like you're texting a friend. Don't overthink it. 2. Mix it up. Use short paragraphs, long paragraphs. Break the mold. 3. Do the out loud test. Read your sentences. If you wouldn't actually say it that way, rewrite it. 4. Be a little imperfect. Add a quick joke. Use a dash. Show your personality. And 5, the ultimate reality check. Hand it to a friend and ask, hey, does this actually sound like me? And now for the educators. It really all comes down to communication. That means having super clear rules, sure, but also explaining why those rules matter with real-world examples. It means tackling the root causes, like student stress. And maybe most important of all, it means showing students how to be an active operator, how to use AI as a smart tool, not a replacement for their own brain. The whole idea is to open up the conversation about AI, not just shut it down. And this is so important. How you frame that conversation matters a ton. You can use what's called loss framing, which is all about fear. If you do this, you'll lack skills. Or you can use gain framing, which focuses on the positive. Let's figure out how this tool can make you even better. And the research suggests that focusing on the gains, on empowering students, is way more effective in the long run. So all of this brings us to the big picture. We've got to get beyond this endless game of cat and mouse, of detection and trying to get around detection. We need to start thinking bigger about what we actually want learning to look like in this new world. I mean, this quote from Professor Donald Saucier just says it all, doesn't it? The goal isn't to catch students. The goal is to raise a generation of savvy, ethical, smart users of AI. Because whether we like it or not, this technology isn't going anywhere. So I'm going to leave you with this one last thought to chew on. As these AI tools get smarter and smarter, we have to ask ourselves a fundamental question. What does it actually mean to learn anymore? What are the skills that really matter when any piece of information is just a click away? What does it mean to be an educated human in the age of AI? That's the real conversation we all need to be having.